Hello, and welcome back to Tech Tuesday. Over the next couple of weeks, we're actually going to be exploring a really great EdTech tool called Padlet. Some of you may be familiar with Padlet, but Padlet is a lot of different things. I guess the best way to think of it is sort of a digital whiteboard, but it's a lot more than that. You can use it to post student work, you can use it to brainstorm, exit tickets, all sorts of different things that we're going to be talking about. Today is an intro to Padlet, how to sign up, how to post your first posts on Padlet, and a little bit more about what it looks like. Let's take a look. Here is the main Padlet website. And one of the first things I can do is just kind of take a look at the different plans here. Now, if you're starting off with Padlet, you would obviously do a free plan. It just kind of gives you a chance to explore a little bit. You can create a couple of active Padlets. And so maybe this is just something you want to use just to post student work at first, or maybe post some resources that students are able to use. And then this is something you'd like to purchase. You can kind of go from there. When I click sign up, I will sign up with Google till we get to my Google account, which is right here. Let's take a look at my Padlet, which is already signed in. I've already signed up for everything. So you can kind of see an example of what this looks like. So these are all the Padlets that I've made for various uses. Right now we're working on Anne Frank. So I've actually made a couple of Padlets about that. But in order to make a Padlet, it's pretty simple. Just click make at the top right there. You'll see a couple of preformed Padlets that you can actually use. And if I click on blank board, it'll give me a couple of different ideas if I want to see different things from different topics that I can use, just to give me a few different ways that I might use Padlet. Let's go ahead and click Start from Scratch. I'll start this from scratch. It'll give it a name, my swanky Padlet. I can go and change that by clicking on the title. And I want to go ahead and just keep this in a wall format for right now. I can always change that and remix it later. I'm just going to go ahead and put my first Padlet right here. There we go, my first Padlet. And then in order to create a post, I can just go ahead, click down here. I'll give it a subject. I'm going to go ahead and put a link right here. Speaking of Anne Frank, I want to give my students some resources to help them to visualize a little bit more. And so I have a couple of different resources that I can use right here. I'm going to start off with a link. So I've got a link right here. I'm going to search for the Museum of Tolerance. They actually have an event coming up. It's a free day in March. I want to encourage my kids to see a Holocaust speaker. And so I've got that link. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that. And I will put that on the Padlet. And I'll just go ahead and put the title here, Museum of Tolerance. Free Museum Day. Publish here. And that pops up. I'm going to go ahead and add a virtual tour of the Anne Frank house as well, which is really useful for helping kids to visualize that. And I can actually search for a YouTube link if I go a little further down. Anne Frank house. So this kind of just keeps me right in the Padlet. And this is actually publishing down here. There we go. All right, awesome. And that'll actually open up right in Padlet, so students don't even need to leave. All right, I've got another post down here. Let's give them another resource. These are the quick writes that we're doing in class. I'm going to go ahead and connect to my Google Drive with my Google account that I used to sign up. You may have to grant Google a couple of permissions here. So I'll do that. I've got my Anne Frank quick writes that we're doing, which are designed to be used before we get into class. I'll go ahead, click on that. They may not display until they upload to Padlet, but now you can kind of see all of those quick writes that are there. And I can go ahead and rename that too if I want. So this is just a board that you can use. You can kind of keep adding to this. This is especially good in English or history if you're covering a topic, but really it's good for any sort of subject that you might want to use. And when I'm sharing this, I want to make sure though that I have my reader or have my permission set as a reader. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Just copy the link to the board. I'll go back to my guest one right here. And when I copy and paste it, looks just like this. And there we are. Thank you for watching this edition of Tech Tuesday. If you have any questions about Padlet or any future topics that you would like to see covered, let me know.